Hi, this is Jordy from Sinful Tidbits, and today we're making Thai noodle bowl. Start out with a couple boxes of broth. Cool thing about this recipe is that it's a one-pot meal. So theoretically you only have to get one thing dirty. So you start out by putting all the stuff in the broth. So this is some curry paste. We'll have to mix that in. And then some peanut butter. The curry paste, I always put in more curry paste than most people would maybe. Like probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of it, depending what it is and how spicy it is. Peanut butter, I would say probably at least half a cup. It can be kind of hard to mix. It's kind of stubborn, but you definitely wanna mix that up. It's a little easier once it gets warm. Then it kind of mixes better. Some garlic. That's what I want. My garlic press has kind of had it. So we're just going to do this the old way. I don't like crushing garlic with the side of my knife. I don't think it's really good for the knife. I don't think it's really good for the flavor of the garlic. I think it's better this way if you just cut it with a really sharp knife. Even pressing it, this is better than pressing it. It's just more work. Doesn't have to be perfect though, because it's going to get pretty well cooked. Alright. Then we need the ginger. I like lots of ginger. More the better. So we're going to sit here and grate a bunch of it. You don't want ginger chunks in there. Garlic chunks is one thing. Ginger chunks are kind of stringy. Aren't really pleasant. So the microplane works really good for that. I kind of pull off the bits of ginger skin too so that it doesn't get in there. I like a lot of ginger. You can really tell if you don't do it. It's kind of a vital flavor. That seems like enough. That's quite a bit. There we go. Let's get something to mix this with a little better. That seems like that's mixing up well. So we're soy free, so we use coconut aminos. Trader Joe's has a really good one. Coconut aminos isn't super salty like soy sauce, so I definitely use more of it than I would of soy sauce. If you're using soy sauce, I wouldn't just dump it in there like that. It'd be disgustingly salty. This won't really be salty at all. That just rounds out the flavor. And then I can't do citrus, so I put in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Not much, probably a couple of tablespoons, just to give it that little bit of tang. I'll crank this up and get it boiling. Once we get it boiling, then we can put in the noodles already. While we're waiting for that, we'll cut up the veggies. For this, I'd say thin strips are good. Thin strips are good. Get the seeds off. It's not an exact science. It's okay if some of that stuff gets in there. Most important is just how thin you cut them. Cut them thin, they cook quicker, and they're just more crisp and flavorful that way. Don't need to go too thin. Don't want them to waste away. This is actually the wrong measuring cup that I usually use for veggies for this dish. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, it's in the dishwasher. That's fine. For the carrots, I like the crinkle cutter. Gives a little more surface area for the sauce and the flavor. Makes it fun. Want to keep them thin. Gotta keep it straight up and down. That's the hardest part. And get a little thicker towards the bottom, the cuts, but that's the idea. Broccoli. A head of broccoli is good. I don't want any of the wood parts. So if it's too woody, yeah, it feels pretty woody. I don't really want that part. But these parts are good. They come kind of small, so they're easy to bite. Looks like that's boiling. So effectively ready to cook the noodles. I use these Thai kitchen ones. These cook in 8 minutes. Gotta keep stirring them a bit though. I use the whole package. So that's 14 ounces of these pad Thai noodles to 2 boxes of broth. The boxes are each 4 cups, so they're 32 ounces, so 64 ounces of broth to this. Okay, and these take 8 to 10 minutes, so we're gonna set the timer. Right there, set it at 10. That'll be fine. Really, the noodles say to bring it to a boil and then turn it off and let it sit for 8 to 10 minutes. And that works pretty good on water. But I'm still trying to cook the garlic and the ginger and all that stuff, so I'm just going to keep actively cooking it. I got a little more cutting to do anyhow. We got coconut milk that we're going to put in before we put in the veggies. Yeah, still time to cut. Turn this down a little bit. We don't need to boil it all away. Alright, now we got bok choy. just like to cut that kind of into smaller bits vertically. And sometimes you find that the inside needs to be washed a bit. It's really hard to wash it before you cut it. And the other bok choy. I like a couple bok choy. Baby bok choy, I should specify. These are the baby ones. Yuck. I think the bugs got this. Yeah. It needs to be washed. That's the hazards of eating lots of vegetables. Bugs like to eat vegetables too. And live in vegetables. Ugh. Alright, that's pretty well cut. That needs to be washed a little more. That's kind of nasty. Sometimes on stuff like bok choy, you just have to accept it. Not much you can do about it. What I usually do is cook the noodles, and then I pull them out, put them on the plate that's going to be served on. Then I throw in the coconut milk and then all the veggies and cook all that for probably 5 more minutes or 5 or 10 more minutes, depending how crispy you like it, how crunchy the vegetables you like. Now's a good time to clean up. Those look ready. There we go. Those look perfect. This recipe's also nice because it's water efficient. You don't waste a bunch of water cooking pasta. So it's a good one if you're in a RV or something. Assuming you have boxes of veggie broth. Assuming you wash your vegetables in the creek. Just don't invite me over for dinner if you do that. Good enough. So now, all right, crank it back up a little to get the heat rolling. Stir it up. Stir it up and add our veggies. Really, this is too much for 3 people. It's easy enough to cut down the amount and divide it amongst probably 4 or 5. And at this point, I like to cover it. Let's get them all mixed in there, get them covered. Then we'll cover it and kind of bring it back to a slow boil. Turn it up for a minute. I'd say we probably want to give it, I'll say 7 minutes. We'll check it in 7 minutes. It should be perfectly good. Looks good enough to me. Need more carrots. There we go. More sauce. Also some peanuts. Top it all off. can use other things other than peanuts too. It's also supposed to have green onion. But I'm out. Alright, you can see we have some leftovers. You can take that and serve it tomorrow or whatever with some rice. But for today, lunch is served. Thanks for watching my video.